What is up, guys? Neo Unstoppable here, bringing you a brand new thing. This isn't like the normal videos that I do, but I recently got into Magic the Gathering. I built a budget modern deck, so I decided to take a crack at Arena. I'm fairly inexperienced with the actual knowledge of Standard. I'm decently practiced in playing Magic though, so what I've done essentially is I literally just installed the app or the program. So essentially I finished out this little mastery tree real quick, and then with the cards that I unlocked built a little deck. I'll show you my deck so that I could explain how it works. So this is the deck build. I changed the name of it to Jose Senate, but it essentially is the same thing with a couple additions. It's got 2 Fountain of Renewals, which is added in. The deck normally comes with Pride Mate, and 2 of them, as a matter of fact. I threw 1 Disenchant in there because I kept getting hit with crazy enchantments and artifacts that were nuts. I left the Summary Judgment in there. It's not really a super strong card, but I mean it does what it's supposed to do. I really like the Depose, Deploy, and Warrant and Warden. These really come in clutch. They really make the deck work. It's kind of like a key cog in the turning of how it's supposed to work. It runs 2 Senate Guild Mages, which typically I find I use these as chump blockers, but it works as a decent combo with Jonti's Pride Mate, because you can block with him as a chump blocker, then tap a white and pump your Johnny Pride Mate up. So that works as an additional thing. Rester's I'm not even going to try that. This works out super well, and obviously you don't lose card advantage as long as you're casting it on your main phase. The deck normally runs 1 Deputy of Detention, but I crafted another one up and threw that in here. This card is so good. It's like the key piece of the deck. If I do a rebuild, I might put 4 of these in here, but I like how it runs right now, so I'm going to leave it how it is. Dublin's Acuity works as a combo, so when it enters the battlefield, it's an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, draw a card. So this is a card draw for us. It also pumps our Johnny a bit, and it gives us the life to outlast other decks. It runs 1 Empyrean Eagle, and this thing has come in clutch quite a few times actually. Usually I have all my big flyers out on the field, and I'll just drop it down and swing for lethal with it. That's how much of a difference it usually makes. It doesn't look very good, just looking at it up front. Other creatures get +1/+1, and it's a 2/3 3-drop, but it is good. So there's 1 of these in here. I can't warrant putting more than 1 though. Law Mage's Binding. This card is also super good. That's part of our blue-white control. Turns off a bunch of stuff. So many things get turned off, especially against green and black. This is super good. I threw an Ajani in here. I really wanted to throw a Teferi in here, but I've got like 20 days before that gets rotated out of the current block. So I've got 1 John T in here. It's the Strength of the Pride one. This one's pretty good. You can do the -2 to plop another John T's Prime Mate out on the field. I have used this ult to board wipe and completely turn games. I think 2 or 3 times now. So it's pretty good. It's a good solid planeswalker to have in this build. 2 Elite Guard Mages. This is good because it pumps the Ajani's Pride Mate, and it's also a 2/3 chump blocker that's also a flyer. And plus you don't lose card advantage when you play it, because you draw a card to replace this card in your hand, so that's pretty good. It's a solid card. I can't justify having more than 2, but it is good because it's a 4-drop. It's a little bit expensive. I've got 1 Senate Griffin in here, and this is my flux card, so when I go to plop something else in here, I'll take this out, but it's a 4-drop 3/2 flyer, and then you can scry 1 to try and find whatever you're trying to find. It's pretty good if you've got extra mana, it's late game, and you're just trying to circle through and find that board wipe. That's good. Sphinx is a solid card. It doesn't exactly have hexproof, but it's pretty much 4/3 flying vigilance. You have to tap all your mana in order to remove it, type of thing. It's very, very good. A lot of the good removal spells in Standard are 2 or 3 drops, and this makes them a 5 or 6 drop. So, or I mean a 4 or 5 drop rather. So that's really, really good. It means that they have to pay either the same amount of mana or 1 more to get rid of it, which usually your removal spells, you want them to cost a lot less than that. So, solid card, there's 2 of them in here. Sphinx's Insight is another good card. Essentially, it's just draw 2 cards. If you cast it in your main phase, you gain 2 life. So, the secondary ability of it pumps our Pride Mate, and then it also makes it so that gives us land. I mean, it gives us card advantage. So good for card advantage. It's a 4-drop, but I just like the card. I don't know why. It just works out well in this deck. It doesn't have a ridiculous amount of card draw, but when you need to find that board wipe, this really helps you do it. That and this, but I'll get to that in a second. Angel of Grace. When I originally looked at this deck and saw the build of it, how it just came, how the starter deck build gave it to you, I was like, oh, this is terrible. It's a 5-drop 5/4 flash flying. So the flash flying is good. You can, for 5 mana, on their turn, tap it in and block, and it usually will kill, a 3/3 of high value or a 2/2 of high value that they thought you had nothing to block with. They're not expecting a 5/4 to dump down on the field. And then its other ability, when it enters the battlefield, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. This is meant to save your life, but at 1, you're really not gonna be protected against mono red or green red that does a lot of damage to you. They'll just blast you in the face for that 1 extra health. So it's not hugely useful, or at least I didn't think it was going to be. And then its other ability, tap 6, exile the Angel of Grace, and your life total becomes 10. So I have used this I've flashed it in and it saved my life twice. So I don't know, I can't tell how many games that I've played, but that's not bad. That's pretty good. So there's still 1 of them sitting in here. I might take this out later if in the new block something really good comes. There's a good ult card that works with the rest of my cards. I got 1 Precognitive Perception in here. It's just draw 3 cards, and then I always cast it for the addendum, so you scry 3 and then draw 3. If you need the board wipe, which mine is time wipe, but if you need the board wipe, this really, really comes in clutch. I mean, I'll take that back. It doesn't come in clutch. It makes it so that you have it the next turn, because, I mean, if you've got 5 mana to play this, you probably won't, after you're playing it, have 5 done playing it, have 5 more mana for this, but there are circumstances where I have done that, so, really late game, this will help you get the cards you need. And it helps you out big time anyway, because usually the main threat on the field can be taken out by Deputy of Detention. So if you don't see a Deputy there, or if you see one, you can just drop the 2 to the bottom and then draw 3, but super good. Our board wipe is Time Wipe. Now this is a 5-drop, which I know is pretty expensive, but it gives you the added bonus of returning a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroying all creatures, which is really good because it allows you to return a deputy of detention that's already detained something to your hand. Whatever it detained goes back on the field, and assuming it's a creature, you wouldn't do it unless so. That all gets just wiped out right off the board, and whatever they have to play next on their next turn in response to that, you just detain right away, and then you dump whatever else is in your hand. The big guy and the main thing that's good against the red decks is this Azorius Skyguard. It sounds horrible if you just look at the card. It's a 6-drop 3/3 flying for a strike, garbage. But then you also, creatures your opponent control get -1/-0. That's a pretty big deal when they've got 11 or so 1/1 goblins on the field, or a bunch of 1/2s, or even 2/2s. I've had both of these on the field before, and I had a whole army of like 8 3/3 Saporling creatures, or whatever they're called, and this thing just totally took away all of their strength. Obviously, it's nowhere as good as the board wipe, but it's primarily against those really fast decks that are going to have, 7 or 8 merfolk on the field on turn 7 or so. And that's when you drop this on the field, and they all become either 0/1s, 0/2s, or 1/3s. It's just a really, really good card. I think there's probably better cards out there, but for the protection that we need against those specific decks when they go late game, this really works out for us. I've just got the regular lands that came in this pre-made deck, essentially. I didn't really even change that much of it. So it runs 10 plains, 10 islands, 4 of these guild gates, and then 1 hollowed fountain. And I'd like to add that I almost never pay the 2 life for it to come in untapped because of the way the deck works. So I probably could, deal with putting a couple more of these in here, but I think the deck works out fine. Fountain of Renewal is our only real 1-drop, and because of that fact, it really makes it so that we don't really have a turn 1 play, and if we do, and I've got that in my hand, and I usually have another land anyway, so I'll just turn 1, play an island or something, play Fountain of Renewal, and then go from there. So that's the deck. We're going to pit it up against a couple of people just in a random unranked game, and see how the deck functions and how it fares. Alright, so let's take the deck for a quick test ride. That way you can see how it works, kind of gain an understanding of what it's supposed to do. Sounds pretty cool. Alright, we got a fountain in the hand. That's pretty good. We don't have a pride mate, but I think this is a keep. It's not really good to have Angel of Grace in opening, but we got a turn 1 play. We might as well keep. Very rare that we have a turn 1 play. Very rare. So probably what we're going to end up doing is holding on to the deputy until they really put out something. If they're just playing the base deck, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to detain that, but it's a 2-drop, so for the free card advantage, I think we will put it on the top of their... Oh, put it in their hand, rather. Got a hollowed fountain here. This may be a situation where I lie about having that come in. Depends what we draw here. Oof. It's pretty solid. I just don't know if we could keep him alive if we cast him so early. I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go for the risk. I'm gonna go for the risk here. Let's see if this does or does not pay off.
I protect those who cannot protect themselves.
We'll -2 him, put him down to 3. That's easy to burn through. They should be able to burn through it, no problems. Now the real question is, do I want to let him swing in and buff this to a 3? I'd say probably not. Oh wow, they got Leyline of Combustion. Very cool. So they didn't even swing. Becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls. It deals 2 damage to that player. Okay. Cool. That's cool. So I think we'll Mage out. And I think we will
Friendship is the best cure.
We could probably chump block the Guild Mage to protect. Yeah, I'm just gonna go aggressive. Let's say we'll swing. And they're gonna take 4. 4 damage to target creature, that's pretty good. Kind of forced us into chump blocking here. Or actually, we could probably tank 2. No, we shouldn't take 2. Oh, okay. We're tanking 2 regardless of what we want. Alrighty.
You smell like trouble.
Cool. Let's see here. I guess let's just go for card draw. Yeah, you know what? No. You know what? Against my better judgment, we're gonna deputy here. I'm going to take 2 damage, but that's cool. We've got a 1/3 chump blocker. Let's go here. +1.
Friendship soothes the soul.
Okay, he got his ley line back. Alright. I'm gonna keep a Johnny alive on 1 unless... Oh, okay. There we go. He's gonna take it out.
I have lost too much.
Okay, our life gain is freaking real. Maybe let's just search for stuff? Pretty sure he can't kill me. You know what? No. I'll take the safer route and we'll just chump block the angel. Just in case some amazing crazy thing happens. I think it will though. Surprise! I have a 5/4. If this gets burned down, I kind of wanted my graveyard anyway. So anytime, and no matter what happens to this, we are good. Ooh. Okay. So we're taking 2. Gaining 1 right back. It doesn't have haste. But it will do 2 damage to me, and also if I bounce it, that's gonna do 2 damage to me. I think I'm just gonna draw here. Let's see what we can get. That's not really gonna help me, and that's not really gonna help me. outtake this damage by doing it this way. Ooh, actually. Oh, now that's tempting. We're just gonna use Lock. No more taking 2 for us. What else you got? Probably burn that down, so you know what? Let's play this guy. Let's see how they react to that. Honestly, I know it's way stronger, but I think I would rather have the Sky Guard get burnt down than the Pride Mage. I'm gonna go with both. This way at least we'll be swinging for something. Big surprise there. They've got 1 card in, oh, they got 2 cards in hand. Let's see how they play this. Let's get this for the life gain and card draw. Oh yeah, that's really good against them. So we've got a 4/3 Flying Intelligence out there now. I'm gonna risk it, because we have to kill them eventually. So we've got 7 untapped mana, but I'm not letting that scare me. Worst comes to worst, we'll bounce back whatever they throw, take the 2 damage for it, pull both of these back to our hand. Oh yeah. That's gonna work on me. I'm not even gonna take that off the battlefield. The other benefit of the Sphinx is that it has vigilance. Oh, they said good game. Let's respond and tell them good game. I don't know if they want to finish out the game or if they're just going to concede. Trying to figure out a way. 1, 2. That's a trap for me to chump block with the 4/3. I chump block with the 4/3, they tap 1, they sack it, they deal 2 damage, then they're back in this thing. Oh, or that could work too. They're looking at it, why didn't you block? Sorry, but 4 damage is a paltry amount to us. Another Fountain River Nipple, that's cool. But I'm assuming that they don't have anything to do here. they don't. Alright, so that's game number 1 victory. Oh, and the next level up we'll be getting a mythic craft. That'll be cool. I unlocked a couple rares. That's what this is. Something I probably won't use. Alright, let's see what happens this match. Yeah, that's keepable. We're just gonna have our fingers crossed for blue mana. Okay. Sure. I'm sure you'll take my board wipe. Oh wow, they took the detention. You know not to attack now, right? Alrighty. That's gonna enter tapped. They left the time wipe. I'm really surprised about that. Okay. No way of buffing that though. I think what we do here is we play Eagle. Oh, Flying Death Touch Hexproof. That thing's pretty nice. I think they're trying to goad me into destroying everything? I don't think they can stop me. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Okay. You gonna take my one other detention out? Okay. I had another one of those. Interesting. That. Play this and still judgment it if we have to. That's what we'll do. Okay. You just gotta remember to keep 2 mana available, and we are good. Does it have Death Touch? No, it does not. And we have Village, and they have 1 mana untapped. I think that trade is cool with me, so I'm gonna do this. Can't play it. Oh wait, yeah we can. Well, they might have removal. That's okay if they have removal. Do we want a plains? No, we don't. Attack. Block. Left, right, we want to make sure that dies. Or I guess. Okay, it's pretty good. Pretty good card. Need something for 3 mana here. And they get it? Summary Judgment, okay. Let's see if, you know what, we'll also play this. Try and grab a card. Oh good, that's what we want. Chump block with him if I need to. I'm gonna attack. See if we can go to trade from them. Could be good for them if they have removal. Doesn't look like they do. Alright. Now we'll play this. And play that. This. We might as well play this too. Whoops. Alright. Top draw battle begins. Hold deck removal is not particularly good against my deck, just because it doesn't run 4 of it. Right, and they concede. Good game. Alright, let's see if that helps us out in the next match, having that extra time wipe in there. Alright, so... Decent hand, I think I'll keep that. seems pretty cool.
Hey, don't start any fires without me. Don't worry, I brought company.
I think we're gonna summary judgment that. They're moving really fast, dumping cards out of their hands.
Oh, they're so cute!
Let's see here. Like a deputy. I think what we'll do is pop that intertapped, play deputy, get rid of Chandra. I don't like those tunes.
I'm burnt out.
Turn. No blocks, we'll take 4. Only gonna swing with the 3, so we will block. Brings us down to 6. Could potentially do this in one spell. Alright. See if you can burn them off the field. Okay, we get about another 3-3. Oh, 2-3, I suppose not. Spitfire. Chump blocker, I'm sure. It's not gonna swing. Like that. I guess we'll swing here. And just go with one attacker right now. Jump block. Just trying to figure out how to burn the deputy out. He's swinging with everything. Let's see, I suppose we'll use this. That. And we'll block. Guess we could trade here. Stop making wolves happen. Let's see if it buffs that. Wait, do I even want to give an option? No, I don't want to give an option. not attack. So we are very I wish 6 damage could do it. Oh, it looks like yeah, that -1, -0 ruins red decks, so he pretty much everything he had was 2 or less power, so he couldn't do anything. Alright. Let's do another match. I didn't even have to use my board wipe that game. Let's hope it's not him again. It's 1d4. Never played against this fellow. Oh, this is not a very good hand. It could go good. We can draw the cards, I suppose. Let's just hope it's not a mono red, because he's going to... Ooh, that's not good. Alright. Another land as well. Also not good again. And it's second. That's really bad. Okay, we've got Guild Mage to play. So at least we have... Tough. I think we do jump block here. Let's not jump block here and see what happens. Got a little bit of life gain. See if he sacks it to take out the Guild Mage. That's cool with me. It's 2 damage that I don't have to take. Alright. Not. Oh, wait, you know what? That's an activated ability, and you can't activate it. Let's go ahead and take that away. Now we can't get pot shot for an extra 2 damage on something. Okay. He's left all of his mana on tap, so I think we're going to draw some cards this turn. And gain that 2 life that he dealt back. Summary Judgment, that'll be good removal against this particular person. I think we may play. I can't play this. It's too bad. Tap lands. Sure. Now we could kill that. I don't want to spend the cards to do it. So... let's just go ahead and... obviously not afraid to jump block here. Or actually, probably smart for me to jump block here, depending on what he puts to block. Can't sack that to blast me to get it +30/+0. I'm sure he can do it some other ways. Okay. Sure. Now he's swinging for one. Just so I'm not letting that mana go to waste, we'll go ahead and put him on top of his owner's library instead of taking one. Attack with that one. So we've got him on a 2-turn clock, and he's got the flyer. We're gonna go ahead and dispose, because that'll prevent him from chump blocking, and it'll give us a card. We've got a detention. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, play that, I'm also going to do this, and then he's got to play chump block flyers for us to not be able to swing in with both around Deputy of Detention. This is going to be a crazy trick to see him pull off. There we go. That worked out. That worked out. Alright. Let's gotta do it again here. Nice. Okay, that's fine. So we can play the Law Mage on his turn. Let it resolve. And we'll lock it down. Start getting the life back up. Dang, he's serious about it, huh? I don't really want this to get out of hand. Let's see what we draw. That. So draw. Okay, so we'll light and some card draw. Oh, okay. Yes, we will allow that thing to attack. Wait, what can he hit me for? I've got 22. Oh, but it doesn't matter because I can jump block. Oh, but then I can't swing in. That's okay. I'm just gonna let him do this thing. Seven, so he can do a total of 12. really deciding whether he wants to do it or not. Okay, I'm letting it go through. Oh wait. I'm not gonna let it go through. I'll just fingers crossed to draw something else. I've always got the attachment in my back pocket. Okay, so now that he's done that, Summary Judgment will take him out on my turn in my main phase. That was a good draw. Yes. Take action. We'll return that to her hand. Blast the dragon down for 5, unless he's got a counter to it. And even if he did, we've still got the deputy. So, got enough mana for that, so we'll play that. If he has another Shivian dragon, oh my gosh. 6 damage. Ooh, okay. Alright. That doesn't help us. This may or may not. It does not. Man. Do I want to get rid of this? Yes. Oh, the land game. The land game is real. So what we'll do here, he's got to have another 6 damage to target in order for him to be able to make magic happen. And I've got this angel, so we'll see what he plays, detention, whatever it is, if it's an actual threat, and block with the angel. Even if Chandra's Spitfire kills the angel, that's cool. You know what, I should probably actually tank then swing and relieve if I'm so dumb one. Of course that's what I'm gonna do. He just deuced out his entire hand! Alright. Although that did hurt, it did not finish me off. With that, it is a good game, fellow 1d4. I'm surprised with that hand we took out mono red. Like, I really am. I'm really surprised that that happened. Alright, so we'll take a crack at doing one more round, see where that leads us. I wish I could really do a series on this, but I know I'm not going to have enough cards to make new decks every episode. This isn't a bad hand. I'll keep it. Let's see what they're playing. They move down. Active abilities of creatures you control +2 left to activate. Next to my creature adapts. It adapts as though it had no plus. Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that. But I think I'm gonna shut that off. I have a time wipe on my hand. I probably should have just burned it off. But I think what I'm gonna do is pop Sphinx out, swing a couple times with Sphinx. And let that be that. It's gonna swing, I'm sure. That's okay on my next turn. Or actually, no, while it's swinging, I'll attempt to burn it. Or while it's tapping. Sure. Judgment, burn it down for 3. Alright. Just try and keep swinging with Sphinx, although if he does adapt that, Sphinx will die. Oh. Didn't necessarily want to buff, but I want him to think that there's a serious board presence. Right now, because I have this passive life game, I'm just going to let him swing in and try and get him to drop those other 2 cards. I do want to draw that card, but I'm not going to. Oh wait, you know what? He might chump block. See if he does. He didn't expect me to attack. He's trying to figure out what I'm doing. He decided to not go. I could also draw this out a little bit more and do Warrant to get that off the field. Create a 2/2, being answer, put a +1/+1 on each ooze. Okay, no resolve. Alright, so now he's got some really cool oozes on his field. think I swing in. Yeah, I want to swing in. Oh, wait, are these all flying? Oh, these are flyers. He's gonna jump block that for sure. No attacks. And we'll go time. So we only have a 1-card advantage on him, but that's okay. Board's reset. We got the Sphinx in our hand for sure. He's got the familiar, okay. Another time wipe. Oh, that's messed up. I think we'll do this first. And I don't think we're gonna use the other time wipe, we're just gonna... Oh, that's cool. Oh, but that's a 4-drop. I don't know what he has there. He might have a negate. Oops, he says, rubbing it right on in. He may totally have a negate here. Let's see if he does. Okay, so we're gonna Ajani first.
If fighting tooth and claw is what it takes, then so be it.
Create one to
A
be
pure
punked.
soul can inspire others.
I think we'll create another pump
My pride
and we'll
grows
get some
stronger.
card draw. Get this out, you know, we can pump a little bit more. This one for 5. Next turn, that's all she wrote, unless he's got multiple. Even if he has multiple, doesn't matter. We've got warrant.
We thrive when we support one another.
And then just to play it safe, no reason to overkill. Just in case he's got Moment's Peace or some nasty spell that prevents combat damage. That is it for him. So that second board wipe really came through, and he was all cocky about it too. He's like, oops, oh, you thought I knew you had a board wipe in your hand, I assumed it, but then boom, you didn't think I was gonna have 2. Wipe and just done. So that handled business, guys. So yeah, that's the Jose Senate deck list as of now. It probably needs some work, a little bit of refining to make it work perfectly, but I would say against most of the matchups, it's pretty good. Like, it's solid. It probably could lose a couple things and gain a couple things, but for the most part, I mean, I thought this was gonna be horrible. I thought the acuity was gonna be awful, but I mean, that card draw and life gain in response to you bouncing other stuff in your main phase is nuts. Really, really works out. It just pays for the cards that don't pay for themselves, and the ones that do pay for themselves, like this, you cast it in your main phase, draw a card, so you're drawing 2 cards and only getting rid of 1, and you're bouncing one of their creatures. It's a solid deck, so let me know if you guys think in the comments below. I know I'm not that great at playing. I probably made some mistakes, and that's why I lost that round. But overall, it's a decent matchup for the people that are at my skill level. Like I said, I just started playing Standard, so I don't really know that much. I decided to get into it because the new set's going to be released, and I thought I would take a crack at that. And if you want to do this build, I showed you how it's played and how to build it, so go ahead and feel free to go ahead and get in on it. It did not take me very long to unlock all of this stuff. Like I said, I've just been playing today, so I don't know, for like 4 or 5 hours, so I literally started from not having any cards, just with the basic decks, and all you have to do is go to your mastery tree and play with the blue deck, play with the white deck, and then keep playing against people and the bot if you're not comfortable playing against people until you've completed all of these masteries here. And once you unlock this middle one right here, that's pretty much the entire deck that I showed you. So if you're looking to get into Arena, now is the perfect time. Like I said, that block's going to come out, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of fun. So if you like this video, go ahead and thumbs up, and refer it to some other people that you're trying to get into Magic. Maybe it'll teach them something about how blue-white tempo is played. And that's it for me, guys. Y'all have a good one.